And usually for Earn Your Donut, we're safely ensconced in stratagem, but of course, we're cross-country skiing and we wanted to stick with the theme. And here to help us out is Ken Shikulski. He's a certified instructor here at Windsor Park. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure to be with you today.
All right, so when it comes to getting started with cross-country skiing, we could be skating, but I think we're going to do classic, right?
We're going to work on classic today. It's the technique that most people use when they're skiing. It's what you see most people skiing with. And it's the technique that you use on most trails in Manitoba. Only a few places have skating trails, so classic is by far the more popular technique.
All right, so when we talk about classic, it almost looks like you're walking on skis, doesn't it, in a way?
In a way, yeah. When we do a lesson, we usually start off with people just walking on their skis, getting a sense of balancing on each ski, and then we try to get them to lean forward a little bit and use their arms more in the technique, and then pull the whole technique together. It's actually a very, very complicated technique when you start to break it down into its individual components. So we always encourage people to take a lesson. It's easily as complicated as swimming and other sports like that, and you wouldn't think twice about taking a lesson in those. So taking a lesson in cross-country skiing is really valuable.
Okay, so take us through the steps then of getting started with classic style.
Well, what we're going to do first is just focus on shifting our weight from one ski to the other. We have two skis, but we really only ski on one ski at a time. So we're going to go through a few drills demonstrating how we can balance on one ski and then balance on the other ski. Once we finish that, we're going to get you to start to lean forward a little bit, because you can get your body weight leaning forward and actually pulling you down the trail to make skiing so much easier. You get your own body weight pulling you down the trail, making you glide faster.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah. And then lastly, we'll get the arms moving in a nice synchronized pattern with your legs, making it an entirely nice fluid movement. And then once we've got that all together, that's the full technique. Then we work on developing a little bit more finesse in the technique.
What would be some finesse items?
Finesse items will include things like just getting a little bit more snap out of every stride that you take, extending your glide a little bit more, and working on some of the other elements within the classic spectrum of techniques, which will be double poling, various hill techniques and the like. 'Cause sometimes we describe cross-country skiing classic technique as just going from one hill to the other so we can play on the hills. So we want to have our good set of skills for going up and down hills. So those are some of the other elements we like to teach in lessons.
You mentioned the arm part of it, and just talk about how important the arms are when it comes to cross-country skiing.
Well, oddly enough, the arms aren't all that important. Most of your energy is coming from your legs. The arms are contributing maybe about 15% of your forward momentum when you're skiing. So while the arms help in balancing and help with the overall coordination, it's the legs that are doing the real work. And the leg muscles are the larger muscles in the body, so using those large muscles makes it a lot easier for people to ski. You don't need a big, strong upper body to be a skier.
You mentioned it was complicated to get started, but once you get going, Ken, is it that complicated afterwards, or is it just something that once you're onto it, it's away you go?
It's a little bit like that, a little bit like riding a bicycle. Once you've learned it, it's going to come back to you. And we actually get a lot of people coming for lessons now that have skied a long time ago. They're getting back into the sport. So we get them out for a lesson, go over some of the basics with them, and we see that it really does come back to them really quite quickly. And once you've developed a technique, have learned how to ski a little bit, you can go out there and with lots of practice, it's just second nature to you, and away you go, and you just enjoy winter a whole lot more when you can just glide across the snow almost effortlessly.
Technically, this is a fitness tip segment. Just talk about the fitness component of cross-country skiing and just the benefits health-wise that you can get from this sport.
Yeah, it's a great sport for fitness. It's a whole body workout. I think usually considered only second to skiing or to swimming in terms of full body workout. It's done outside, so you got lots of fresh air, and even with cold winters like we've had this year, you can bundle up properly for skiing, and you can get out in the cold weather and really have a good workout. And you can do it at a facility like this, daytime or nighttime. We've lighted trails here, so it's easy to get out and ski at your convenience during the day, during the week. Really have a good workout.
Well, that's pretty much going to do it for this edition of Sports Select Sports Talk here on Shaw TV. Huge round of thanks to the good folks here at the Windsor Park Nordic Center for their hospitality. Listen, if you've got some spare time in the weeks to come and there's still snow on the ground, you gotta come check this place out. Of course, if you have any questions or comments or show ideas for us, don't hesitate to email me at the address that you see at the bottom of your screen. You can also catch up with me on the old Twitterverse at Al Foster Shaw. On behalf of videographer Melyssa Ward and our entire Shaw TV team, thank you so much for watching. So long from the Windsor Park Nordic Center.